Everybody loves doing the side raises, and the front delts are being worked in all presses that you do. But for 3D shoulders and an upright posture that will make you look huge, you need to work on the rear delts. In this video, I will show you my favorite exercises, techniques, and secrets to build those huge posterior delts. The first one is of course going to be the reverse pec deck, aka the rear delt fly. This isolates the rear delt from everything else, no back, no biceps. So we are sitting here at the Gym 80 machine. Most of these pec decks have the possibility to shift the bench, the chest support or the back support from a high position to a more further position to push you further back, allowing for a greater range of motion. And also very important, both of these handles are usually in a position that's not advantageous for a full range of motion. The stretch is very important. So what you want to do is put the arms as close together as you possibly can, and that way you maximize the range of motion. But wait, there's more. You can place your hands in such a way that increases the stretch even more. And as we all know, the stretch will cause the biggest growth, especially in the rear delt. So place your hands on the handle, but place them as far on the inside as you can, and this will maximize the range of motion and the stretch you'll feel in the rear delts. The seating position of the rear delt fly is that when you stretch out your arms, they're pretty much going straight forward, so don't sit too high or too low, as it will target different muscles in the back, for example the traps, which we don't want to work on. We want to isolate those rear delts. In order to do this movement, really focus on keeping your arms stiff, so the biceps are not doing anything, the triceps are doing nothing. So from the start position, from the stretch position, you go all the way to the back in a fly motion, as you will be doing with the chest, but this time you're working the rear delts, and you go up until you feel a P contraction in the back of the delt, and only then will you slowly and in a controlled fashion move all the way forward and back until the stack almost hits the other stack, and that way you know you hit the maximum range of motion on the particular machine that you're doing. So why do we even want to train the rear delts? They're just a small muscle group on the back of your arm. Who cares? Well, your whole body cares and your physique cares. I already mentioned the upright posture, as it's literally the rear delt pulling your shoulder backwards correctly into the socket. The shoulder joint is being pulled to the front, to the side, but it should also be pulled to the back. Otherwise you'll be sitting like this, like a lot of people in an office, typing on a computer. That kind of posture will cause a lot of injuries, niggles and pain when you're training the delts, the chest, etc. You don't want this. You want the rear delt to be as big as possible, allowing your shoulder to be nice and free, injury-free, and to build as much quality muscle you can. Let's move on to exercise number 2. One of the exercises I really built big rear delts back in the day. It's one of my favorites, but it's not my absolute favorite, the best mass in rear delts. I'm saving that one for the end of the video. But this one is called the face pull. The big difference here between the first one and this one is with this one, the bicep is aiding the rear delts in pulling the weight, as this is kind of a compound movement and the first one was an isolation movement. The biggest benefit is more weight, more tension, and a different angle for the rear delts. As we all know, bodybuilding is all about building muscle from as many angles as possible. And the name suggested self, the face pull, means you're literally pulling the weight towards your face. I prefer using a rope. I have this special rope that's ergonomic for the hand, so you don't screw up your grip. Lean back just a little bit and make sure the cable pulley is at the exact height as your eyes, as you want to pull it exactly and straight back to your eyes. Really focus your eyes on the rope and see it sharpen as you pull it towards your face, and that way you can truly contract the rear delts really nicely under a lot more weight compared to the rear delt fly we did at the beginning. So the rear delts. A lot of bodybuilders, people who go to the gym, find it awkward to place it in their workout split. However, when you train the delts, it could be easier. So I have two scenarios for you. I personally don't train the delts, but if you do train the delts, I would in fact place it at the beginning of your shoulder workout. Not the front delts, not even the side delts. The rear delt first to get that out of the way, to once again improve that balance between the front and the rear delt, where the front delt is usually the biggest anyway. Second scenario is my own scenario. I don't train delts at all. I'm going to separate the delt day in the week. So my workout split looks like this. I train the legs, the chest and the back, then I have a rest day. So where do the rear delts fit? At the back day. First you do all your back exercises, but before doing the biceps, we fit in some nice rear delt movements. This is very effective, very efficient, as you already trained the back, and this automatically targets the rear delts anyway. You warm them up, so you might as well finish them off when you're training the back. Before moving on to my favorite exercise, a lot of people have underdeveloped rear delts or even delts in general. The best way to show them during the workout is with good blood flow, a very good pump. And that's why I like to take a pre-workout by EZN, of course. Why? As it contains the highest amount of ingredients scientifically proven to give you the maximum pump, blood flow, fluid retention within the muscle. So make sure that you take a good pre-workout with a good pump-inducing effect to maximize your muscle fullness during the workout. So, my one and only favorite exercise. Very easy to achieve a mind-muscle connection, very easy to do a lot of reps, get a good pump in rear delts and make it grow. It is going to be the face down, chest supported, rear delt double fly. So, chest supported, we're taking a bench. The angle to set the bench at depends on how long your arms are. And you want to grab two dumbbells, you don't want them to hit the ground, but you also want to be able to grab them. So make sure the angle is in such a way you're grabbing the dumbbells, and when you're at rest, you're not touching the ground. Now this is an extraordinary movement, and in my opinion, lots of reps will make you feel the rear delts here very, very well. So what you want to do is kind of use these stiff arms, just like the rear delt fly at the beginning, and simply perform the fly motion. But as you go up, the tension will increase dramatically, allowing you to feel the mind-muscle connection in the rear delts. One tip, however, if you go straight up, this is the back and the traps. What you want to think about is not going just up, but also going outside and up in one motion, which is literally the fly motion you want to mimic. Exactly like a chest fly, but then in reverse, which is why it is called reverse double fly. So for me personally, and for everybody working out, of course, the poses you can do in bodybuilding, showing off your physique, the rear delts play an integral part in showcasing a complete, beautiful, sculpted physique in the delts, for example, with the back double bicep, the side chest, etc. The rear delts play a very big role in making that look incredible. Of course, these poses are important on stage, but off the stage, in the gym or outside, you can always be able to make sure your gains don't go unnoticed. With code Wesley, you can always save the maximum amount of money. Thank you for the golden, incredible support. Short and simple. That's what I have to say about the rear delts. They're a small muscle group. They don't require very complicated exercises. The more complicated they are, the smaller the person is executing them. What here is the relationship? But all jokes aside, just stick to the basics, especially with the rear delts. Just make sure you add them after your back workout or in the front of your delt workout to make sure they will stand out in your physique on your next bodybuilding competition, on the beach or in the gym. Thank you very much for watching this video. A lot more tutorials and favorite exercises are coming. Let me know what you want to see down in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to stay golden.
'cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.